Hey, you! Before you watch this, pause the video and subscribe to SemiPro right now.
What's going on YouTube? Ryan back again with another video. Today, we're talking about Oregon football. This is my team. This is my university. If there's any team that I do know, it's the Ducks. I cover them as an analyst at a radio station at the University of Oregon, and I know the ins and outs of this team. So you guys in the comments definitely cannot tell me I don't know what I'm talking about for this video. This Oregon football team is damn good, but there are two major concerns: quarterback and offensive line. Everyone knows about Justin Herbert and him leaving for the NFL. Herbert was the hometown kid and the leader of this Oregon team, and he leaves a hole in his wake. And there are many different quarterbacks who could take that top spot. The leader in this race is Tyler Shough. Shough was labeled as the heir to the throne last season, but the waters have been muddied, and the path for Shough got a little more difficult as Oregon brought in Boston College senior transfer Anthony Brown. Contrary to Shough, Brown has been a starting quarterback, a 3-year starter for that matter, and his stats have improved every season. Last year, through 6 games, he was on his way to his best season yet, but he got injured and was forced to sit out for the rest of the season. Shough and Brown are the frontrunners, but there are 3 freshmen who have an outside chance at playing time. Cade Millen, Robbie Ashford, and Jay Butterfield will probably have to wait their turn for a future season, but they are worth mentioning. The offensive line is very new. You may know the name Penei Sewell, and you should. He's the best offensive lineman in the nation and one of the best offensive line prospects we've ever seen. But the rest of the offensive line is completely new. Oregon had one of the best offensive lines last season, but all of the key members outside of Sewell are gone. Dallas Warmack, Calvin Throckmorton, Jake Hansen, Shane Lemieux, and Brady Aiello all graduated, which leaves all positions outside of left tackle wide open. The players that look most likely to step up are Alex Forsyth, TJ Bass, Malisala Amave Lalu, and Stephen Jones. These guys are all new to being a D1 starter, but Oregon breeds offensive linemen. The overall production will probably take a hit, but it will still probably be one of the better offensive fronts in the Pac-12. That leads us to the skill positions. Last season, Oregon had a 3-headed monster of sophomores in the backfield, and this year, it'll be a 3-headed monster of juniors. CJ Verdell is a home run hitter. He struggles with his vision at times, but when he gets in open space, he is a flash of lightning. Verdell gets all the recognition, but there's 2 other backs in the backfield. Cyrus Habibi-Likio is a north-south power runner, and will work much more effectively in Joe Moorhead's more traditional offense rather than Marcus Arroyo's pistol from last season. And then there's Travis Dye. He emerged as a pass catcher out of the backfield, and he sometimes can be written off as just that, but he is a deceptively well-rounded runner despite his small stature. The pass catching core stays almost exactly the same, just without Jawan Johnson and Jacob Breland, but with the additions of Chris Hudson, a 4-star recruit, and UC transfer Devon Williams. But the main contributors will be the same: Jalen Redd, Johnny Johnson, Micah Pittman, and Spencer Webb. They are limited, but they are progressing. I am concerned with the lack of a true number 1 for the new quarterback, but the wideouts are certainly reliable and will get the job done. That leads us to the defense. If the offense is good, the defense is spectacular. There's both depth and star talent from top to bottom at every position. Up front, Austin Faliu and Jordan Scott both came back for their senior seasons, and both should be drafted in next year's NFL draft. And Popo Amave is a dominating force up front. Oregon also has the best pass rusher in the country, Kayvon Thibodeau. He was the nation's number 1 recruit coming out of high school and should be a top 5 pick in 2 years' NFL draft. Then, rushing the passer opposite of KT from his Sam linebacker position was another breakout freshman last year, Mace Funa. He finished second on the team in sacks behind Thibodeau and was a top 100 recruit in 2019. The pass rushers may have been the focus of recruiting in 2019, but the linebackers were certainly the star of the show in 2020. 2 5-stars were added to the roster, Justin Flo and Noah Sewell. They were the number 1 and number 2 linebackers in the country, and the Ducks needed them after Troy Dye and Lamar Winston graduated. Isaac Slade-Matauatia and Drew Mathis are veterans in the linebacking corps and will help mentor the freshmen. But I haven't even mentioned the best unit on the defense. The secondary is loaded with NFL talent and depth. Javon Holland, Diamador Lenore, and Thomas Graham all forewent the NFL to return to Eugene for their senior seasons. Holland might be the best defensive back in the country. He can play corner and safety, and he can return kicks too. He's electric and talented, he can cover, he can hawk from sideline to sideline, he is exquisite. Then at corner, both Graham and Lenore are both exquisite tacklers and effective corners, who have NFL talent. Fellow senior Nick Pickett is one of the safeties, and he's joined by Brady Breeze. Breeze broke out towards the end of last season and won Rose Bowl MVP. Then there's Verone McKinley, who is just as versatile as Holland is. McKinley can play safety and corner and brings even more depth to this Oregon defense and will probably get to start. Not to mention 5-star recruit Dante Manning, who could get some very serious reps at corner, 4-star recruit Luke Hill, who will probably have to wait just because of the depth on the team, but should be a future standout, Bennett Williams, a junior college transfer at the safety position, Steve Stevens, who is still waiting his turn at safety, and Michael Wright, who shines as a kick returner, taking 2 to the house last year, but also as a defensive back. This Oregon defense is elite. This Oregon secondary is even better. There's NFL talent from top to bottom, and I would even go as far to say that they have the best defense in the country. Oregon's schedule is incredibly tough in the non-conference with North Dakota State and Ohio State, but Oregon has a legitimate shot at the playoff if the offense can play enough to not lose games, and it very well looks like they can. Mario Cristobal has proven he's a winner in his few years in Eugene, and he looks on his way to continuing that winning culture.